Hey everybody, welcome to the Move Freely channel. Today is our third broadcast, and I'm super excited to bring on our first interview, Ken Davenport, who's running for Florida State House 35, a patriot, a husband, and a father. We look forward to interviewing him, and we'll talk to you in a minute. So welcome back, everybody. Just a few housekeeping notes. Please go to movefreelyamerica.org. Join, throw us some money to help us get started and up off the ground. We've recently partnered with Liberty First Society, and we are going to provide training to all our constituents working in the group. 50% discount, $10 a month, training on civics to get you up to speed on what government should be. And we look forward to working with them and with you in the near future. And without further ado, we're bringing in Ken. Hey, Ken, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you joining us. So just tell us a little bit about your background and where you got started. I know we try to keep the specific airline name out of this, but for those of us who are watching and don't know, Ken and I work for the same airline, a big airline based in Dallas. So give me a little bit about your background and where you came from.
Well, I started out of college with a criminal justice degree. I was a probation officer for a good 7 years, and got into real estate and mortgages, and ran my own business there after that. Before 9/11, had a nifty little pizza restaurant going for about 4 years, but 9/11 was hard to maintain everything. And after that, I got into being a flight attendant, and it was one of those things that. All my buddies were sitting there talking about how, it's going to be an okay job. Then I got my interview, and everybody went from, yay, we're going to do this, we're going to have here, we're going to go here, we're going to have. Well, the wife was at that party, so that wasn't good for me when she left. So she's like, you're not going to go have that much fun and come home and tell me how great it was. So I told her, well, if we don't do it now, we'll never do it. And we ended up both getting hired 3 months apart.
Wow,
and that was 15 years ago. Yeah, it was. It really is an amazing story about how we got hired. And everybody knows how hard it is to get hired by an airline. And the two of us got hired at the same airline 3 months apart. And honestly, it's been the most amazing time of our lives. We have 3 kids now, and we could have never done this with the jobs we had. We would have always been at the grindstone, always working. And our company has given us some freedom to be able to do what we want to do. And that freedom is what we're trying to save here with this conversation.
Wow. Yeah. It is a great airline to work for. And it took me 15 years to make it there. And I had been applying for 5 years before they finally called me for an interview. I remember I used to fly for a major corporation. And I got back from a trip that day. I was sitting in the parking lot and going through my emails before I drove home. And I was like, holy crap.
This is real.
Yeah, man, it got real quick. And same thing, I made it through. I've been here 6 years, and it's been great, and sadly what's going on in the country has taken away from the joy that job brings some of us, in that freedom.
Yeah,
so
it really does.
How long have you been married for?
Oh, we've been together 24 years. Next year in November 22nd will be our 25th year. It'll be shortly after the November 8th election when I'm elected. So that'd be a great a wedding gift for us, or a honeymoon, whatever it's called, anniversary.
Man, that's awesome, man. God bless you.
Yeah, we've been together 27, almost 28 years at this point. So really? It's had its ups and downs and fun times, but it's great to have a 3-night trip, and we get to go and hang out together and enjoy ourselves, come home to the kids, and life is good.
Mind me asking how old the kids are? I've got 3 myself. I got a 14-year-old boy and boy-girl twins that are 12.
Well, that's what's funny is I'm 52, and I have a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Oh
And
man,
that's my first set. My first set.
that's good. Those are good ages, man. I remember about
No, they're
5 is when
great.
it starts to get fun, you know?
I tell you what, I've heard people talk like they didn't like this age or that age, but I've enjoyed every age of every part of the kids. I mean, even from changing diapers, it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So have you lived in Florida the whole time?
Yeah, I grew up in Rockledge in Brevard County, and I moved barely 50 miles away to Orange County. Lived in Volusia for a little bit, but for the most part, I've been here all my life.
Wow. And your wife too?
Oh,
Did I lose you?
I think I. Yeah, there you are. All right, I lost you for a
And
second too.
did your wife grow up there too?
She did. She was born here in Clearwater and grew up in Orlando. So it was one of those things where we both went to UCF and graduated there. But she was my waitress at the Fridays, and we'd always go there for Monday night, 50% half off. And I
Yeah.
met her there as my waitress, and, and she didn't know enough not to let me stick around. So,
Spoken like true air crew, you know.
yeah.
50% off there. I remember when I was married, I met my wife at the time at a country bar here in Houston, and the same thing. We used to go there that night. It was like quarter beers, you know. So we
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
go two-stepping and a beer for 25 cents, and that's how that whole thing got started, you
yeah.
know. Well, that's great.
Crazy.
So what? How did you? What did you see over the last couple of years as all this crap got started? Did you see it coming, or it kind of just was like, holy crap, more of an all of a sudden thing, or?
For us, it was something that was prior to the pandemic. We started having trouble in the school system, and we started becoming advocates for our children. We had a situation where our oldest daughter was being bullied, and it was the teacher. And I talked to some other moms to try to get the information. And I didn't want to just go off as Papa Bear and go crazy at that time. And so I got a hold of a teacher that was in the class. Her daughter was in the class. She's a teacher at another school. And I asked her if she would ask her daughter. Well, I expected her to get off the phone. She stayed on the phone and kept it on speaker, called her daughter in the room. And she asked her if the teacher got the whole class involved with chanting for my daughter to speak up. And she said, yeah. And sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right, man.
I didn't think I
Part
was
of
going to
being a
do that, man.
dad.
I'm sorry. Oh, so that was about 3 years ago. And it basically hit me so hard. And you can see that I didn't expect it to hit me now. But, when your 7-year-old daughter is being bullied by the teacher and you call and you try to get the superintendent and everybody to do something, and they don't care. So then I had to get on and do it in email format. Well, I did get a lot of notice then, and they did an investigation. Of course, it's 3 months later, and it correlates back to what we're doing now and what happened. I had a quadruple bypass last year. I came out of that. I'm going back to the airline business. I'm 100% cured. I'm healthy. And now I get, if you don't follow this mandate from the federal government, you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
Well, with both of us working for the airline, we're scared. We got these 3 kids. We're going to be on the street in 3 months if we can't pay our bills. Everybody knows this. Everybody went through this, and that's how I got in this. I called all of the representatives. I didn't care what side of the aisle they were on. I started calling everybody because this is about everybody's income, job, and welfare. And
Right.
if our legislators don't take care of our jobs and us, why are they there? And it put me in a position that I had to say, no more. I'm going to come take your job. And that's how I got to where I'm at. I'm running for office now because I'm not going to sit here and let us as individuals lose our jobs and lose our houses and our families be destroyed.
Right.
They don't care what they're doing to the mental capacity of all of us. They don't care that families are being separated over this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little long-winded here, but this is
No.
something that we all have to step up and fight for. And if we don't get together and stop this, and these little tidbits of things that are happening with the Supreme Court allowing some sort of mandate to be stopped, but then don't allow it for the medical people. Well, that's wrong in itself, because we had all these medical people for the last 2 years in these hospitals with the COVID, with all this going on. And I don't see that we've lost 75% of our healthcare workers to COVID, according to CNN and MNCB. Oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have any healthcare workers even trying to have a job right now. And us in the airline industry, we're out there. How many different hotels are we sleeping in? I know they're washing those comforters every night, because I used to be a housekeeping supervisor during college.
I didn't need to know that, man. Those are just those things that I just choose to not think about, you know.
But
I remember watching like a Dateline or something. Man, I was like maybe a teenager or something, and what's the guy, like John Stossel or one of those guys that does those investigative reports, you know, for like Dateline.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, you know, waving a black light over the
blue light, yeah.
Yeah, look at, oh God, that is just willful ignorance. That's one of the few places in life that I'd be willing to just not think about those things, you know.
Yeah, but we have a great immune system because of it, you know.
Right, exactly.
It's one of those things. I've survived COVID twice.
So when did so you got in with Southwest Freedom Flyers? When did you come into that?
I came into Freedom Flyers right in the beginning, right away. I as soon as it came out, I met Tom and got involved heavily, and then just everything rolled from there.
Yeah.
And that was, so then in December, I went ahead and filed to run for office. So, gosh, when did we start? That seems like back in
we started
September.
It was officially it was like early August, and I think I moved it over to Telegram in probably middle of August, and
right.
It started rolling pretty good in September. Yeah.
I was on it before we moved it to Telegram, and then had to learn how to use Telegram.
It's so amazing how that word spread around the system, you know. I mean, we all fly with each other all the time, and I mean, we went from a couple hundred to 8,000. I mean, in maybe 2 months' time. And I remember sitting there. You could just watch it on the people joining. I mean, it was like every couple minutes, ding, ding.
It was
ding,
cool.
You know? Yeah. Hey, so back up to the school teacher. Did whatever happened with the teacher?
So that basically, it became a factor that they did nothing for her. She'd been there 35 years. She was tenured, and they did an investigation. They got involved to the fact that they covered themselves, and they basically let me know, in a nutshell, my kids didn't matter, but they really cared about their reputation. And because they waited so long to interview the children, the kids, 7-year-old kids, they can't remember a week ago, let alone.
Right.
And I gave them a list of parents to talk to, and they refused to talk to any of the parents. And my kid was the 4th or 5th child that got actually kicked out of this lady's class or left her class. This lady was the gifted teacher. This was the gifted classroom. And you've got a gifted teacher that was kicking people out, and or the kids were coming home crying so much that the parents pulled them. And one of them, I got a lot of information that I was able to use, but the school would not accept, was from the homeroom mom. And right before my daughter left the classroom, she had left the classroom. And it was just terrible.
Wow, that should be enough as it is right there. I mean, why would that happen, you know?
You know, and because the school wouldn't help, and I did call a couple attorneys because I was infuriated. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to do it. No attorneys cared. It was sad. And what are you going to do when you got 7-year-olds that can't do it? And parents, I couldn't believe the amount of parents that wouldn't step up to back me up about their children.
Well, sadly, that's what it's kind of turned into. Is it seems like a lot of parents just use public schools as the daycare, you know. And now I notice it with my kids. I think it started maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. They don't even have homework anymore. So I can't
Right.
help them with what they're learning in school. I have absolutely no idea what they're being taught. I have no oversight when they come to the house. You got to constantly be bugging the teachers, and most of the teachers for me don't don't mind it. They like to see a parent involved. I think because there's so few of us. So when you ask questions and you're nice with
Right.
them, and they're more than happy to help you or help your kid more because they see that you're involved. But just just the fact that uh, there's just no oversight. You have no clue. And now you're seeing, the CRT going around the country, and I've seen videos recently where you go into your library at the school, and the books that they have on the shelves that are and the crap they're jamming down our kids' throat, even in conservative
Yeah.
states. It's absolutely mind blowing to me that, and I think it's easy to not think about. We're all out there, the husbands and wives, we're working and paying our taxes and everything, and if you don't hear anything from the school, you think everything's good, but man, they're taking over. So for you, I'm glad you're running for state rep, and I encourage everybody to run when the time comes, but especially for get involved in your local communities. We got to build this up from the ground up, and even be involved in running for school board, or working in your township or something like that. Any place to volunteer and be involved in civics is absolutely necessary for our future.
Yeah. Just to say right there, even if you go down and become someone that watches the polls, get involved in a level that we can even be there to make sure the voting's done correctly. There's
Yeah.
so many things that we can do to be involved. This is a little too much for some people, but I'm really having a great time with it. I'm meeting so many nice people, and it's not about politics for me right now, because I'm in a factor that I'm out there just meeting and greeting people, and people want change. I am so amazed about how many people that I walk up on that I don't know what affiliation they may or may not be, and it turns out that they just want to talk, and they want to talk about change, and
Yeah.
it's been really really fun.
Have you met anybody that's been hostile towards you or not kind?
So not me personally, but my wife. It was one time we were out trying to get these petitions signed, and they went up, and these people were obviously on the other side of the aisle, and they started signing. But their friend came back from the restroom, and she saw the word Republican on my sheet, and she went ballistic. We had to back off, back away. It was at a restaurant, and we're like, wow, she's that angry. And then I have a
Just based off of
situation that
that,
just happened
you had
just
no
based off of
interaction.
that. This is kind of a longish story, but this last week, I take my golf cart up, and it's got the banners on it, and I park in front of the school where the crossing guard is. And this actually did happen to me, so I sit there, I talk to him. I go in and get the kids. I come back out. Somebody called the school and talked to the principal last week, and they want to know why the crossing guard is watching my golf cart and protecting my golf cart while I leave it there. So, so the principal has to tell them what happens outside the gate is not my problem. I can't deal with it. This is the sad part. She didn't just leave it at that. She actually went ballistic to the point that she called up. My crossing guard has been there 15 years. He's an amazing man that takes care of our kids.
Yeah.
She called the sheriff's office to get him in trouble. Then that didn't work. She called the sheriff's office to get the sheriff's officer, because he comes out there and stands by my golf cart. And we all sit there and talk together because I'm doing nothing illegal.
Right.
And she wasn't happy attacking me when she couldn't get me. She felt like she had to try to take someone's job. And that's just not right, that in our society today that you
Right.
can be that upset to attack this man's job. My buddy Steve's been there 15 years. He's got a pension with the county now, and he's just so much fun to sit there and talk to. And that's another reason that I cannot stop this run, because we have to be there to protect everybody. And when this craziness is going on like this, and you just can't be mad at me because I'm a Republican and you're not,
Right.
that's not right.
Yeah, I really hate how divisive in nature the entire country has become, and I really think it's all part of the greater psychological warfare that's going on, that divide and conquer. It's the oldest, war strategy in the book. And I like hearing that you're going out and just talking to people. And I've found that even people I disagree with, I've flown with a handful of guys over the past couple of years who believe in the other side, but we can still have a talk about it and debate it in a friendly manner. It doesn't mean we have to
Right.
just hate each other. And there's so much more common ground with Americans in general that we've forgotten because everybody's just pigeonholed into their social media or the news, and you just pick a side. I think that's one of the greatest things about the conservative movement is we can have differing opinions, and that's okay. You can still have a job. I'm not going to attack you. I like at work, I can't think of a single thing that somebody could say or do to me that I'm going to want to go after them to the point that I want them terminated. I don't want to take away anybody's livelihood. We can have disagreements,
No.
but I certainly don't want to take away your paycheck. And that whole
No.
cancel thing is just absolutely atrocious.
I've been in the situation where, because I'm out there talking to people and trying to win this race, I'm coming across friends of mine that are Democrat, and we start talking, and everybody's like, "I'll vote for you when I can in November." I'm turning Democrats into Republican voters because I am writing down the same line they want to run down. And when you talk to me and you get to know me, you're gonna like me, and that's where I'm winning. I had a friend years ago tell me I was like a fungus. I grow on everybody. So
That's an interesting. Oh man, that's a good one. So what are some of the things that you stand for? I got your website here, and let's see if I can pull it up. This is the third time I've done this. So Ken Davenport for Florida House. And I highly encourage anybody watching to go on and flip Ken some cash. I mean, he's the first of his kind to come out of the group, and what we've done to stand up. He's the tip of the spear. And anything anybody can do to go and donate, I'll put out an email to go with this to all the Southwest Freedom Flyers later today. But any amount donated, but especially a monthly recurring contribution would be so very helpful for Ken.
yeah, the monthly recurring is something huge. Yeah, it's what medical freedom is one of my biggest things, of course, with being with us. Me coming out of my surgery, no mandates. We got to stop mandates. We got to stop the mandates. We got religious freedom. We need to support the Second Amendment and our freedom first. Those are kind of a nutshell of what I stand for, and hopefully that we can get something accomplished in Tallahassee.
What was how involved were you with Tom in the recent work he's doing in Florida?
I'm very involved. Tom's doing a tremendous job for us. I talk to him weekly about what's going on. I'm going up to Tallahassee for the freedom movement there on the 22nd and 23rd. Going to help go and lobby the current legislators, try to make sure they understand what they need to do for us. We're trying to stop that House bill by getting Governor DeSantis to veto 7014. I think they have an event today at 2:00. I'm going to continue my campaigning. They're going to go do that. I'm trying to like make sure that I'm not too overly involved in the hardcore campaigning like that, because we still need to make sure that I get in and I make sure that I have a seat at the table for all of us. And when we have you and Tom and me, and we're all trying to better everybody's life, we have to make sure that we get to the finish line. And that's my goal. My goal is to make sure that I get there and I can help us out. We get insight as to what's going on. I can feed it to Tom, and I can feed it to the attorneys that we have. They can help me understand. That's the beauty. So I was scared about doing this job and not understanding what someone has to do when they get up there. But when I started finding out about my judicial assistants and everybody that's behind the scenes that actually does the job for me, and then I can come to you guys and I can collaborate with us and make sure that we're getting stuff done that's going to benefit all of our jobs. It's about saving our jobs, and I'm there for everybody for the long fight.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, I talked a little bit about it in the video that was posted yesterday. United Airlines employees, anybody with a religious exemption, and the same thing at Hawaiian Airlines, got put out on indefinite unpaid leave. They took away your ability to get a hardship 401k loan, your travel benefits, your medical benefits, and you're not allowed to get a job. If you get a job somewhere else and United Airlines or Hawaiian Airlines finds out, you will be terminated. You'll never be able to go back to that job if and when they turn that ability back on. So I know we have 300 or so United employees that are on unpaid leave in Florida. Is that right? Do you know that?
I think it's 300, maybe 400. The number's too high. We're talking about our religious freedom and my own personal religious beliefs, and that's covered by Title VII. There's no reason that these people should be out of a job, being desperately trying to feed their families now. You can't get a job. If you go and get a job, they're going to fire you from United, is what I understand. I'm not 100% versed in that, but how do you have the federal government telling our companies what to do, then our companies jumping in bed with the federal government that doesn't even exist because we have state sovereignty? And when the states roll over and give the power to the government, they only are supposed to be here to protect our borders and interstate commerce. Read the Constitution. Our constitutional rights should not be being stepped on like this. And we've got to get up there and make a difference. And I encourage anybody out there to step up and do what I'm doing. If you can't do it this cycle, get out there, get involved. Try to make sure that we're doing something.
Yeah. And then Move Free. So we have 4 people run. I just found out that Move Freely has somebody running in Texas now in the 18th Congressional District against Beth Van Dyne. I'm going to be reaching out to him and hopefully interviewing him in the future. But also, I'd like to see 100 people minimum in 2024 run for office. I will be running for state rep in 24. So I'll be calling you for tips because I have no clue what I'm doing. But
well, yeah, I tell you what, I'm an open book. I'm going to answer any question to anybody. I'm going to be there to help everybody. I do that now. I mean, I even my hometown, one of the guys, his district changed because of the redistricting. I put out there to him. I got a call into him to have him call my old high school. My old high school needs football equipment. Well, as a representative, that's a great place to invest some of your money and talk to the whole community that you supported their community in their football program. And for a couple $500 or something like that, he can get some great help from the community voting for him. And those are the things that we have to get to in this grassroots movement. Get involved with the community, making sure the community has things that they need. It's really a fun time.
So if somebody is living in your area and wants to help out, what you need some bodies, you need some volunteers.
I do. I need people to come join up with me and donate. No, sorry, volunteer.
Well, that
to help
too. That too.
Yeah. The donation thing is very, very hard right now. We need help. It takes a lot of money, but volunteering to come do door hanging, getting out and knocking on doors. Everybody's got a Ring camera now, so the beautiful thing is when we go knock on their doors, we can actually have conversations with the people and let them have an understanding of what we're doing and trying to save them. I need signs. We got to get signs out there. It's just everything's expensive. I didn't realize how expensive this is to run a campaign. I love the guy in New Jersey that did it for $187, but that is not going to happen here.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how that happens. And then I think I saw an interview with him and they're like, well, how are you going to learn what to do when you get up there to learn your new position? He's like, I don't know. I'll go up there and I'll figure it out as I go.
They're going to jump on board. Yeah, but they're going to jump on board like they've done with me. People are coming out of the woodworks to introduce themselves to me. I went down and saw the new chief of police in the city below me in St. Cloud, and I had a lady come up and introduce herself to me and said she's heard my name a lot. I'm like, wow, I've only been doing this 2 months. She's running against me. Well, I have 6 people in my race, so everybody's running against me is what I thought. And then it turns out she's a Democrat running against me. And I told her that was okay. I still like her. So she didn't know what to say at that point. And I ended up talking to her for quite a bit. And, she walked out of there asking me to come to her events with her. I said, I'd love to, but I can't.
So what are some of the things you've learned so far? Like having never have done this before, what are some surprising things or something that like you could share with somebody who's thinking about running? Because there's still time around the country, and definitely for those who want to run in 24, what are some things that they can expect or some things you've learned?
If you're going to run and you're going to run in 24, you want to start now. Everything that you get out to everybody is going to be something that starts now. I kind of got in a little bit late, but not really. You're on your own. Nobody is going to help you. I've been pretty much financing my campaign by myself at this point. Getting small donations here and there is extremely helpful. With getting more donations, you start to find out that you need signs, you need literature, you need print. You need all of this stuff to get out there to make a difference. And when you start talking to the other candidates, you may have a great idea. Try to keep that to yourself, because as soon as they see what you're doing, I don't know if you have a picture of my truck that I took my F-250. I've got a banner on my truck. I know. But I've got a banner on my truck and a banner on my three-seater golf cart. Well, just yesterday, I saw that 2 other candidates have banners and the back of their cars plastered now with their signs. So I'm doing non-traditional marketing, and I have that advantage because my wife was the regional marketing director for Papa John's and the regional non-traditional marketing director for Clear Channel before she and I came on board with Southwest. So a lot of what we're doing is non-traditional. If you're on my Facebook, you see me getting up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We're driving our truck around, parking it at a Publix, parking it at any high capacity four-way where all the cars are going by. Those are the things you got to get out and do. You've got to get your name brand out there. And if you look at my sign behind me, see, I made it simple. A lot of the people are doing things with their signs that they're making it a lot of different colors, a lot of this. Well, that's more expensive on the print. I wanted to brand my name, and then I got my district got moved to Osceola County, and it's south. Well, if anybody's been to on vacation here to go to Disney, you stay in Kissimmee or Davenport. I've got the city of Davenport that's literally 8 miles from where my voting district is, and that's going to advertise for me as well. So I've got some unique factors. You want to look at your name, and if your name is going to be first on the list, like you being Bogart, you're probably going to be first on your list of voters, and that's going to give you about a 5% increase in voting capacity. I'm first on my list.
That's so crazy,
learning,
man.
I'm learning.
That people would just pick the first thing that shows up. Oh, that looks good.
They do. They really do. And a lot of what we're doing, and like people are resonating to me because they see that I'm not trying to waste money. I'm using business cards to hang on the doors. I use these banners, and I drive around in my golf cart, and I park my truck, and then I ride around in my golf cart in the area, and they're seeing my signs double in the areas that I'm working, and it's really helping out. It's fun, but it is work.
Awesome. Well, let's take a quick break here. I've got a little like and subscribe video, and then we'll come back in 1 second. I threw that in there. It says like, subscribe, and comment, and then I put in the bottom, you want to. Some of this stuff is so much fun, just a little creative eye that I didn't know I had before. So I'm
learning that with the Facebook.
For anybody who's watching, I'm going to post all of Ken's information for his Facebook, his website, and all that in the comment section below. So go ahead and visit, donate, and help him out. If you live down in Florida, do some block walking for him. It's super important. What else can people do, or how else can they contact you? You want to throw yourself a few minutes of plug, and the screen's yours.
So one of the things you can really do is go onto my website, log in and put your information in. Putting your information in is going to give me a situation where I've got everything to send out blast emails. And go on and like my Facebook at Ken Davenport for Florida State Representative. Those things are going to be very helpful so that I can start growing my my website and my Facebook. The more people that I can contact, the better. If you see something that I'm posting, don't just like it or put a heart. I know we all do that. It's something that I'm learning that is not helpful for me in a race. I need you to comment on it. When you comment on it, it goes out to your friends, and then your friends see more of what I'm posting. And we get votedavenport.com out there where people can see my website, sign up, potentially donate. I mean, if I can get 1,000 people to donate $25 a month, and we can do that for the next 6 or 7 months, it's not a lot of money out of everybody's pocket, but it's huge for the campaign, and it really puts me in a position that I can be a true contender and win this race.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
I think at this point we have to take care of ourselves and make sure that we keep our medical freedom and make sure that we stand up against this tyranny. If we don't stop what they're doing in the government and we put our foots down, I don't know. I get confused when I start talking because I get so passionate about it. It's something that we have to fight for. And I got these 3 kids that I'm going to protect. And if I'm protecting my 3 kids, I'm protecting your three or 2 children or whatever anybody has. And I want to serve my community. I want to make sure that our community is protected. And it's not being protected by these legislators now. And we've got to step up and know who we have to make sure we get them out.
Amen to that. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast now. If you want to stay on for a minute, I'll do the outro video and then we'll talk for a second. So let me just, I'll do that and just hang out. All right, everybody, that was Ken Davenport, Florida House District 35. I really appreciate him coming on. I want to say thank you to his wife and to his family for all the support they're giving him. I think it's quite amazing. And he is the tip of the spear for what America needs to do, what I'm trying to do here with Move Freely America, all the volunteers working behind the scenes, and each of the airline groups where we started from. Americans are coming together, and you are not alone. You are absolutely not alone. So it's really fantastic to see men and women like Ken stand up and fight for what's right. So with that, I hope that all of you decide to run for office either now or in 2024. I want 100 people from Move Freely America to stand up and run with me and the likes of Ken and anybody else who's running. Please go to Ken's website. I'll post the links in the description below and flip him some money, help him out, help him and his wife run their campaign. It's so hard to do with these grassroots movement. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you for all your support, for watching. And please spread the word, especially if you live in Florida. Help support Ken, help support one of our own. Thanks for coming.